responding to the 20 things that AEW that W that WCW will do in the year 2020. I, I have no problem with with, with firing Adam Graves because I think Adam Adam Graves is an asshole. But as but and you all know my friendship with you all know my friendship with Ash, so I'm gonna honor her wishes and not comment on that because I know some stuff, but she told me not to comment on it. Ash, I've shared it with my friends offline, but they told me that they're gonna tell not leak any of it. But to responding to the website that has that has that has that goddamn fucking uh robot fucking annoying voice. Hey, people that people that Vince McMahon is no longer 52. In 2020, he'll be 75, and it's a 10 to 15 year and it's a 10 to 15 year and it's a 10 to 15 year uh, project for a guy that doesn't like to get more than 9 hours of sleep at night and doesn't like to sneeze and takes anabolic steroids. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if if his quote unquote senility that 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 everybody, including myself, has pointed to for the last couple of years is not senility. It's it's the after it's the after effects of decades upon decades of steroid abuse and for decades upon decades and decades abuse for you guys. It, it not only it not only shrinks your nuts and makes you sterile, it makes you go crazy. So I think that the fact that the old man has gone crazy has nothing to do with senility. It's his 25 to 30 year that is 20 to 25 to 30-year battle with steroids. I mean for for evidence, go back to October, the October issue of Muscle and Fitness. I mean, no 75-year-old guy has muscles like that. I mean, when you're 75 years old, naturally your muscle tone diminishes with age. But Vince McMahon thinks that I'm Vince McMahon. I'm immortal. I'll never die. Newsflash, buddy. You won't. I'm predicting, and I hope to God that, and I hope to God I'm wrong, but I'm predicting the death of Vince McMahon in 2026. cause of death, 45, 40 years at least of constant steroid abuse. And there will be no tribute video when that happens. Because he did that to himself. He he's he's read the studies, and he's made that conscious choice. I'm Vince McMahon. I can do what I want. Well, let me tell you something right now. I'm Rich Nicholas, and I can do what I want. Well, you're Vince McMahon. You can do what you want. I'm Rich Nicholas. I can do what I want. And you think that you're gonna gonna buy the top talent like the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega when when they've already turned down contracts with 10 zeros, and they've signed 5-year deals or 6-year deals with. They said you can wrestle with any company you want, but as long as you're under our deal, you can't. The only company you can't wrestle for is 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 the WWE. And 6 years from now, let's let's age you. Let's give you that year. So at the end of the year, you'll be in August. You'll be 75. Let's say, okay, when you're 81, they'll they'll be re- they'll be they'll be free to wrestle for you. But they already said hell no to you once. They'll say hell no to you again. And if you lose, and if you and if and if I'm just saying that electronic fucking news fucking wrestling WWE site is right, and actually Flair does leave, I'm not saying whether she will or she won't, but if she does leave, then then JD then JD then J, then 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 JD will 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 he's already said if Charlotte Flair ever leaves, I'll I'll I'll, I'll strip I'll strip down bulkily bare ass naked with my balls hanging out, and I'll run up and down the street 10 times. Well, dude, I hope if Ashley decides to leave, let's just leave it at that. I hope she decides to leave before spring because it'll be, and I hope she decides to leave when New York is having a huge blizzard because you said on the day that she leaves, you'll strip down to, to you're all together, your nuts will freeze, and I'll be happy. And besides, with 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 Ashley Flair there, and and with and with Paige there, and with Chris Statlander there, I mean, I can't wait to 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 see the potential matches if Ashley decides to leave. I repeat, if Ashley decides to leave, I can't wait to see the types of matches that they'll have, and if and along with if 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 Miss Knight leaves, known to known to known to you arrogant bastards and Titan Towers Page, if 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 she leaves and takes a prominent position in AEW's women's division, that's and who knows. My wish for 2020 that Rebecca Quinn comes to her fucking senses and leaves that crybaby and leaves the WWE too. And she can. My advice to you, Becky, trademark Becky Quinn the way the way Ashley did Ashley Flair for insurance, so that the WWE can't say you can't use your own name should you decide to leave. Now, I have no insider information on 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 Becky Quinn, and let's just say I'm gonna leave the insider information that I do have for a little surprise to shock the hell out of the industry. And then, if my little surprise happens, and what people have told me happens, then the WWE ratings will be .99, and they'll be even lucky to get that. That will be the highest rating that they'll get in the last decade of the WWE. Good night. I just wanted I just wanted to I just wanted to clear up some of the inaccuracies. Oh, and one more inaccuracy. Who cares about who cares about Paul Heyman? Paul Heyman has been in charge of, of Monday Night Raw for 9 months, and he's produced he's produced 15 of the lowest rated show in in the in almost a 28-year history of that program. And if he's still on Monday Night Raw, by the end of by the end of 20 by the end of 20 by the end of 2020, Monday Night Raw will be canceled. And that's not a prediction, and that, that is what will happen. Good night.